I'm Steve, live from the Rat, and because of Carl and Marty, I got 2 free tickets to go see Metallica and get to interview Lars. What's up, Lars? I'm going to ask you a few questions for the Rat Radio. All right, my first question is, what do you love and what do you hate about being a rock star?
Hi, Steve. Great to see you. This is wonderful. This is very cool. I love playing music with the boys. I love the freedom of being able to sort of play music, choose the projects, come and go as you want, whenever you want, how you want. Obviously, when you're in rock and roll, when you're playing music, the idea of not having to sort of conform to particular schedules or to, the way that it's supposed to be is always a great big part of it. And I love the kind of the unpredictability of that.
Was your most fearful moment on stage?
Fearful. Montreal, 1992, Guns N' Roses tour. We were playing the intro of Fade to Black, and we had these flames in the stage, and that would shoot out of the stage, and they shot out of the stage, except they shot out right where James Hetfield was standing. So I was sitting there playing, and James Hetfield was basically engulfed in flames from the pyro. That was not a particularly fun moment. And then, we were very obviously worried about his health and his safety. He had to go to the hospital. He had second-degree burns on parts of his body, and I had to go out and tell 60,000 people that we couldn't finish our show. And then Guns N' Roses played, and there was some issues there, and there was a small riot that ensued. And
What or who inspired you to be a musician in the first place?
What inspired me was the new wave of British heavy metal, this movement that was going on in England, the late 70s, early 80s, bands like Iron Maiden and Motorhead and Saxon and Diamond Head and all these bands that kind of were coming up. They wanted me to be a musician. That movement made me want to be a musician.
Do you see yourself still doing this in the next 10 years?
We're just getting started, bro. We're 30 years into this shit. We're just rounding first base. There's no question that from a creative point of view, there's no, it's just a matter of, at some point, obviously, we're in a sports facility, so at some point, you have to kind of bring that card into it and say, at some point, you can't physically do it anymore, because obviously what we do is very physical. So whether that's in 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years, I don't know how long you can play a song like Battery or Blackened or Fight Fire with Fire, but I will die trying.
What was probably the most memorable moment, like venue-wise, to play at?
We played a show in Moscow in 1991 on an airfield called Tushino Airfield. The estimated number of people, they say there was about 500,000 people there. It was completely crazy. You can say mind on Rat, right? And of course you can't, because I just did. And I'm getting the thumbs up from the corner. That was a total mind. So it was definitely probably the craziest gig we've ever played.
Are you guys going to be coming out with anything new anytime soon?
Well, there's always lots of stuff going on. It's difficult when you're stuck at 7 days a week because of all the things that we want to do all the time. But there is, we've made a fantastic, very impulsive record with this rock and roll legend named Lou Reed, which is coming out in late October, early November, which is kind of just a crazy one-off experiment. We have to do those types of things once in a while to just kind of keep it up, basically. And then, we're going to start getting back to work on the new Metallica material right after that, and hopefully get some of the new Metallica material out in the next year or two.
Thank you very much for the interview, Lars. It's been great.
Talking to you, Steve. Thanks for coming up.
Never, never land.